Hello. Hello.
Hey.
I'm Marissa, and this is Neon White. This is a FPS speedrunning platforming game. It came out last summer. It's been very popular, and it's very focused on speedrunning. And this is the White 7 Rust category. So we're going to be doing all main story levels in order, and there's going to be no dialogue or no cutscenes. It's just straight up action all the way through.
It's going to be very intense.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot going on. It's going to be fast-paced. I'm also joined by some other gamers, if you'd like to introduce yourselves.
Hi, I'll go first. Hi, I'm Mochi. I speedrun this game. I make spreadsheets and stuff. Yeah, I mostly run ILs, but Heaven Rush is a really fun category, and I'm excited to see it run.
Hello, I'm Idle. I unfortunately was unable to make it here today, but I'm here in spirit. I used to be the former record holder in this category, and I'm excited to see this run.
Yep, so I'm ready whenever, honestly. So we good to go?
I think we're good to go.
I'm ready.
Yeah, whenever you're good.
Okay, so I'm going to start the countdown after I click the start rush button. So 3, 2, 1, go. So we're going to start with some basic levels that teach us the movement and stuff. The basic movement is like just moving in and jumping. But we're going to be introduced to the main mechanic, which is cards, very shortly, which I'll let you to explain the first one.
Alright, so the first card introduces Purify. The left click is a machine gun, where it shoots as a machine gun. The right click is a discard ability. A card's discard ability gives you a unique movement option. The Purify gives you an explosion jump, where you get to jump on basically a sticky bomb. This is shown in this example of Gunner, where she's going to be explosion jumping a lot.
Yeah, and we'll just a second card, which is Elevates. It's a very basic double jump, or just extra jump, I guess. And it also gives us a pistol, which is just like basic shots firing.
Yeah, and this level kind of mainly introduces one of the probably like cornerstones of going fast in this game, which is bullet boosting. It's based on the very intentional mechanic of parrying or shooting enemy bullets in order to go faster. But because we figure out very broken things about these games, we use it in a lot of very crazy ways later in the run, which is going to be quite fast. You'll see.
Yes, and real quickly I want to explain what just happened on this stage. This stage is bounce. What Marissa did is she jumped onto a weird hitbox collision thing, and she used that to then jump onto a scene where she then did a coyote jump in this game, where she did a jump off when she was slightly off the ledge in order to get up top.
Yeah, if you know platformers, you know coyote jumps. There's a quirk in this game where you can bind the jump to your scroll wheel and it only works while you're not on the ground. So it's basically an exclusive coyote jump button, which is quite nice.
Yes, one thing I also like to mention is water boost. In this game, you go twice as fast when you are on water. So this is the fastest form of water speed in this game is being above water, which we call an above water. Being above water can make you go up to 3 times faster than just being normally on land. The previous stage, Fast Trek, and this stage, Glassborn, are a great example of trying to get above water boost. So she's going to be jumping up the slope right here in order to try and go faster.
Yeah, it's pretty much 3 time save on a slope like that.
Yeah, going up that slope, holding space versus not saves, I think, about a second, maybe a second and a half.
Right here, we are now into the second chapter. Now every stage has a bottomless pit that we can fall into, but that's not going to happen.
So okay, let's look at the third card, which is called Godspeed, and it gives us a dash straight forward like this, which also allows us to dash straight through enemies and kill anything. And it also gives us a sniper rifle with limited ammo, but it's very accurate.
Yeah, we're going to get introduced to like a lot of interesting ways of using the weapons to kill very far away things, and the Godspeed is definitely very good for that.
You guys see here, just like
another
dashing
thing
right through. Sorry.
Sorry. One thing I want to mention was it can also be used to break red objects, which are breakable objects.
Yes.
Which you'll see here.
yeah, explosions and various card abilities can break red objects, but they also can be killed because they have like effectively 40 HP, which is relevant in I think none of the main levels, but it is a good mechanic to know about. And here you'll see her doing something that was done a few times earlier, which is phantom boosting. Basically, when a bullet dies, in quotes, which is either it hits an object or is parried or shot by you, or is shot specifically, it kind of lingers where it disappeared, and you can then parry it again to get a double boost of every bullet.
Yes. This stage is a great example. We'll talk more about water. So there's a thing in this game called edge grinding when you get on the water. Above water boost, it's possible to trick the game to give you an above water boost when you are on the edge of a water. This will be used a lot, especially on this stage and a lot of stages in the future to try and get more speed.
Yeah, we have a quick example right here, where you'll see here's a burst of speed. Imagine.
Yes, it is able to be much faster than is shown. I believe it can go up to around 50 units of speed, while what you got there is roughly around 35. So it is very powerful in a lot of.
We should have time for a donation while we wrap up this chapter. No?
Of course, we do have a $50 donation from Bloom saying Glue Clan on top.
Yo, Glue Clan on top.
Thank you very much for that. And we have a $10 donation from Turkey saying I'm bing bing wahooing. But for the Mary block, it's still a bit off. But, well, if you want, then that's your prerogative. Thank you very much for the donation, though. And it's back to you.
Hey, awesome. So we're just entering Chapter 3. This is going to introduce new card, a few new enemy types. The one we saw there was the big head. They're called Guardians. They don't shoot you and do damage. They just lock onto you with this like death laser. And if they lock on fully, you are just dead on the spot. So we have to try to kill them quickly as possible, or from great distance, because they have a range, their attack.
Yeah, and the next card is Stomp, which is also just very self-explanatory, obviously. A Stomp straight down, which will kill anything on the landing.
Going down is one of the hardest ways to go fast in this game, so we just have a card that goes down very quickly. You don't fall very fast.
So what you're seeing Marisa doing is she is left clicks as shooting only 2 bullets in a certain spot. This is Stomp Spraying. This can be done with any automatic weapon in this game. Every single automatic weapon in this game has the exact same fire and spray pattern. So the best way to get accurate shots with the Stomp, which is supposed to be only for close range, is just spam spray and try and aim up slightly above right of where you need to hit.
Yeah, now we're just seeing the jumpers you see here are the new enemy introduced in this chapter. They do jump, which is a little bit annoying sometimes because they can dodge your bullets. But also they fire 3 shots in a burst, which means that on certain stages you can get a very big speed boost off of them, because your bullets do penetrate enemy bullets, so you can hit a lot of them in just one shot or quick succession. This canal is one of the. Oh, sorry. Keep going.
I was going to say the same thing. This is Canals. This is one of the first major reset points of the run. It is a very hard stage due to having to snipe everything from very far away with your elevate. Some of those are very tight spots where you're only able to see like 2 or 3 pixels of the enemy's head that you have to shoot. So
Yeah, it's really like
massive spots.
the first example of shooting stuff from really far away, which really lets us like open up different routes in a lot of the levels coming up. Like some of which will save like tons of time of what you may expect to be done.
Yeah, this is really like a game of resource management, your resource being mainly your cards, and being able to, which are effectively your weapons, so being able to spend your ammo on things you're, like, right there, shooting some very far away barrels. Yeah, being able to, like, reroute things by using ammo when you're not supposed to, when you have some left over, to skip big parts of the level, or, like, smuggling cards into different sections of the level. It's a very big part of the kind of routing philosophy, I suppose, in this game. Yeah, we're heading into Chapter 4. We're just approaching this very ominous castle.
This is the first boss chapter actually, and we're going to be heading up to a very notorious level with a pretty difficult route, which we'll see if I can manage to do.
Hey, do you like coyote jumps? We're about to see the worst one. Basically, you're going to do the same thing, kind of philosophy-wise, you did on canals. You're going to shoot things from far away, do a really tight coyote, and then you have to turn dash to the edge. Basically, you need to shoot that balloon that you see around the wall, which looks hard on the surface, but then you realize that the wall actually extends quite a bit further than it looks because it's got invisible collision. So it's a very difficult shot to make. Yeah.
You can see how like troublesome it can be sometimes.
Yeah, it's very tough
it is
to
a brutal shot. Very hard, very hard.
So I guess that was like, it's all shooting balloons. Didn't quite get the fastest route, but we'll still make it through. And we are heading up to the first boss as well, which there's quite a lot to talk about.
Yes.
Yeah, there's...
So let's explain how boss fights work. So, Green has 100 health in this fight, and one of the main things we're going to try and do is snipe Green as early as possible by deal damage earlier than intended. This is in order to try and kill him slightly earlier so we can do it in only 3 phases, not 4. Another thing you're going to see her doing is swinging her katana. This is a setup which is called death timer abuse. Whenever you die, the game freezes your timer in game time. Nice. So what she's going to do is she's going to shoot a purify bomb down onto Green slightly. Oh, never mind. She's going to stop. Sorry, I forgot. Here we go. Yes, and then she punches and then causes the timer to freeze slightly early. It is a very hard strat.
And you did that ending is not easy. That is not the ending most people do. It's definitely super impressive you did that first shot.
Just to quickly explain, this card right here is the fireball, which also gives us a dash like Godspeed, but we can angle this in any direction we want. And it also gives us a boost on the ground, which will be very useful in many places.
Yeah, whereas Godspeed sets you at a set velocity, so it's faster to do in the air because it carries momentum. The fireball effectively puts water underneath your feet. As we've learned, walking on water is very fast. So you want to ideally do as many of your fireballs as possible, like on ground level. They can also break through walls and stuff.
So one thing that Marisa attempted there was a fireball coyote. Sorry. So what happens is if you fireball when you're on the ground, if you time your jump right, you're able to basically get a double jump in air. This strat is definitely very hard to kill everything. It still is possible to back up, but it definitely is very rough. Timing is very hard to do.
It's so cool though.
It is.
A very claustrophobic little level. Break down and just dash through a bunch of guardians.
I guess the levels are quite simple, so we should have time for a donation or two.
Yeah.
Okay, I do have a $15 donation from Killjill VT saying Glue Clan on top. Thrasher Games rise up. Good luck on the Neon White run. Thank you very much for that donation.
Thank you, Jill.
Hello, Jill.
Oh yeah, you do know Jill.
That's also an example of the fireball effect lasting. Since if we use the fireball, the effect will let us kill anything during the dash, and it lasts for quite a while.
Yeah, I think it's lingers for about a full second after you hit it, which is much later than you would think based on like your movement speed and the animation. So you'll use it to kill a few like tricky enemies. Yeah, in this level we're going to look at some gram boost, because effectively when you get a bullet boost, which we talked about, if you're standing on the ground, the boost itself is stronger to counteract ground friction, but that also means that if you get the boost and then immediately leave the ground, then you're carrying the bigger boost into the air where there's no friction. So that is set up to make some really big boost in the abilities or situations where you're able to either jump right after a boost or like do it right at the edge of an edge of it.
Right now we actually stomped the barrels through the other side of the wall, since the stomp explosion extended to let us take the barrels basically.
Yes, this applies to all explosions. They have a set AoE and they do not care about walls even slightly. We'll use that in quite a few levels for some funny little tricks of shooting things through walls. And this is Apartment, one of the lovingly termed gamer levels. It is almost. That's such a tight shot. It's basically this big thing you're supposed to climb like all up and around, but because speedrunning is so fun and magical, you just kind of go up, then go straight down. And, oh, that card's not behaving.
I guess it's
Yeah,
not how it usually goes, but we made it through.
Yeah.
it's a very hard stage.
So right here, this is chapter 6, where we are introduced to tripwires, which, if we walk into the actual wires, they will just kill us immediately. And these levels are designed around them. The main things to notice is that they will often set off chain reactions, which you will see plenty of examples of. And also to note, they will kill any enemies attached to them as well. So here you can see examples of chain reactions.
Oh, and also something we maybe didn't know is that to complete a level, you need to both reach the goal and kill all the demons. And the tripwires do count as demons. Which is also why you may see the demon count be absurdly high, and Marisa will shoot one shot and it'll go down to nothing, because they're all like tripwires set up in a chain reaction.
Yeah, so a lot of these feature stages, they're going to be just shoot a tripwire or shoot a couple tripwires and almost everything is dead.
Yeah, so there we're going to do just very light coyote jump and do some funky strats. This is a real good example actually at this stage of saving weapons and using them in like unintended ways to skip big chunks of the level. Alright, I don't think you were going to say something?
Yes, we actually kept the tripwire alive to jump off it and skip straight to the ending there, which was only possible because we saved the Godspeed from earlier.
And this right here is falling. Very hard stage, you gotta fall.
Yeah, we just fall.
That's pretty much it.
The only true auto-scroller of this game is there's only gravity, you have no stomp. Until now.
Even then, it's only half an auto scroller at this point.
Thankfully we can stop the ending, but it's a bit less painful. And these are shockers. These also count as demons, even though they don't like move at all or attack you. If you land on any side of them, it will launch you in that direction. Just like this.
And the green one that's indicated is kind of like what's the name? The like intentional direction.
Intended.
Yeah, the intended direction you're supposed to go for the level to make sense.
And that's always the way we actually go.
Yeah, we don't do that most of the time.
And here's an example of that where we don't go where the green one points us to. This is Bouquet, which we also call Bucket. This is another one of the hardest stages in the run due to the fact that she's going to have to snipe some sensitive demons with the Purify Bomb. Nice, she hit it. She hit the first one. Let me see if she hits the second.
And she got it. That's
nice.
Clean. Oh my god.
That's Bucket is a great example of.
Yeah. And here you're going to see her set the FPS of the game to 60. This is because of a interesting glitch. I feel weird to call it glitch. There's an interaction between the fireball and the shocker enemies, where basically if you fireball into kind of the middle of it, by like the very base of the pedal, it'll, for some reason, I'm not sure we exactly know why, it just gives you this huge boost, and it's much bigger, like you launch much further and faster and much more consistently at low FPS.
And also to note, we used in-game time for the run, and not real time, so pausing doesn't add on time, pretty much.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So right there.
Yeah.
Big boost.
Yeah, that's a massive boost. And this right here is arguably the hardest stage of the run. Welcome to Trip Track. Marisa is going to be doing a strat called Aimlabs Trip Track. So what she's going to be doing is she is going to be doing a late coyote jump off the water while shooting enemy bullets. She needs to hit 3. Yeah, she has to a specific amount of ammo in order to actually be able to make it across the gap alone. It's very hard.
Yeah. It might take a few tries, it's very precise.
It is very precise and is very, very hard.
Yeah, you need the incredibly late coyote jump and then to hit both bullets in the air in order to even make it. And yeah, we got it.
Nice.
Jump up and we snipe things. So well done. Then we just pick the whole level up from a distance, and off we go on our merry way.
Yeah, since we
to the
skipped
goal.
like so much of the level, we have to shoot all the demons that we skipped from up there. And I took it a bit safe by stopping, but we got the job done.
This is the
This
yeah. This is Tripwires.
Yeah, here's like a prime example of chain reactions. Like the entire level is designed around racing a chain reaction to the end, basically.
Yeah, it's a very interesting twist on like the auto scroller, because if you don't do anything, the level, if you just stand in the goal and don't do anything, you will always get the same time. So you have to kind of speed up the auto scroller.
Yeah. And we're in chapter 7, which is a bit more relaxing compared to the previous bunch of levels. And these are bubbles, which they basically shield any demons inside them. So we can't actually hit the stuff inside the bubbles unless we go inside. And we have to also go in and out of the bubbles to pop them. They do count as demons, so we must go through them. Well,
Yep. This right here is a shield. This is an example of it is possible to pick up that Purify Bomb card without actually killing the bubble. You have to go further inside the bubble than you might think. But that ending is very hard. Congrats.
I wasn't ready for that. That ending.
Yeah, that ending is
incredible.
really hard.
yeah, so there's not much opportunity to like do or like skip parts of levels in this chapter because of having to go through bubbles.
Also, something that's been kind of happening, just quickly, is that the pickup range for cards is expanded when you get like hit by explosions and use abilities and so on, which is why she may have been grabbing some cards you think she wouldn't have been able to.
Yeah, I guess that was like the biggest example of above force boost being abused. We're just gonna do some surfing down here.
Yeah, she is going down that water diagonally in order to keep the above water boost.
And here we're
This
turning
right
on the
here
V-Sync
is-
to idle you know the number. You can explain this one.
Oh yes, this is Minefield. So as Mochi mentioned, she turned on VSync. This in order to spawn 0.2 units higher in the Y direction. This allows her to fall down quicker due to her not landing on the water and saves roughly around half a second to a whole second. Yeah, very major stuff. Very funny strat.
This
And
quick
right
stage,
here
don't
is
miss it.
Mimic. This introduces you to the Mimics. The Mimics are blue chest demons that shoot out, whenever you hit them, shoot out a ring of blue bullets. These bullets insta-kill you, while also killing every single demon that the bullet touches. So this is an example of only having to shoot Mimics. So for this and a lot of future stages, you're only going to have to shoot them. Yeah, she is only going to be shooting the Mimics in future stages in order to kill groups of demons.
Yeah, so we actually like
Even
kill,
though I just
they kill quite a few demons with our out of sights that we don't actually see. So we did skip a part of the level just there at the start. We should also have some time for donations since there isn't much happening for the rest of this chapter.
so
So, sorry, I guess I just missed my cue. Sorry for that. We do have two donations waiting. One of them from Kinsey Kenzie, donating $20, saying, "Love this game and you're absolutely crushing it." Tell me, what's your favorite song in the game?
Cloud9, probably.
And we have a $10 donation from Trundle, just saying gaming, and I can't agree more. Back
So
to you.
true.
So true.
so true.
Gaming.
I think this is my favorite song in the game, the Chapter 7 song.
My favorite song.
Either
is
that or
Dog.
Chapter 8. I love Air Dog.
It isn't.
True.
Wait,
We are coming into
You're-
a very fun and interesting chapter, and also a difficult chapter. So take us
Oh
away.
yeah, this is a new card.
Welcome to Heaven's Edge. You now get the Dominion card. Left click is a rocket. You are allowed to rocket jump. The right click is a zip line. This zip line, whenever you click, you can able to zip line to any ball, and you move at water speed towards it. This is an example of zip line. Zip lines, whenever you grapple onto an enemy, they deal damage, and they break glass and stuff whenever you get on them. So let's talk about how explosions work in this game. Explosions work weird in this game compared to other games. So in some examples, you're going to see her aim like right above her in order to rocket jump. This is because the way the game calculates how far you go from the rocket is different. You're always going to get launched the same amount of direction Y value, but the X value is different depending on the angle where you hit it. So no matter where you aim your rocket, as long as you get hit by it, you're always going to launch up. And that is true for all explosions in this game.
And it allows for some very cool routing, even though it makes little to no physical sense. Like this, where you're just going to surf a ceiling with a rocket.
Yes. So as you saw there, she was able to shoot her Dominion. You're able to shoot your own projectiles and get the speed boost off some Dominions also included. So yeah, this chapter is very hard, but it is a personal favorite of mine. This chapter is awesome. I like it.
This chapter does tend to have we do skip large parts of these levels because Dominion allows us to pretty much with the reverse of rocket jumps and a zipline.
Yeah. Having an effectively insta-kill weapon that has infinite range and fires in a straight line is very good for skipping parts of levels.
Yeah, you'll see more about that soon. But anyway, this is Crash. One thing you're going to see is explosions do go through walls. I believe Mochi mentioned that in Chapter 5. This is another example. Later in the stage, she is going to be shooting Dominions up into the roof of the bottom section in order to kill 2 guarding heads. She's going to skip by fireball.
Yeah, they're basically on the road, the little waterway path that continued.
Yeah, so right there.
Wait, it's the
below.
Oh.
I don't think you can save that, unfortunately.
no.
I actually didn't realize.
Don't worry, I only knew because it happens to me in a run like yesterday.
One thing I also want to mention is you're able to zipline through bubbles. They don't pop. Do they pop if you exit a zipline early? I don't think so.
I mean, there is one bubble later in this chapter that we do kill from the outside. It's the only one in the game. Yeah, this is the prime example of shooting things from a distance. This is maybe the premier Aimlabs level of this video game.
This is a sense. I used to have record on this stage. So what she's going to be doing is shooting all the balloons from very early, and then she is going to rocket climb up. This is very, very hard, and she did it first try. Absolutely. Congrats.
That's so good.
Yeah, so as an example, just skipping straight to the end by doing a ton of rocket jumps up the wall. This level is pretty long and straightforward. So we just have a donation right here.
Okay, I just got one in from Cat, $10, saying meow.
Meow.
I agree.
Yeah.
I totally agree as well.
I think this is the best Chapter 8 level, and no one agrees with me.
I don't think I agree.
It would be better if it wasn't for shooting your own rockets being a little goofy.
That's true. Sometimes they do just explode for no reason.
Yeah. Basically, shooting your own rocket, it is... To my knowledge, we don't actually know what causes it to explode early, but there's a chance for it to explode early for some runners, and other runners, it just never really explodes for them. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think there's been theories of it being FPS dependent, some manner of hardware dependent, but there's nothing that we found that makes sense. It just sometimes happens.
Yeah, this is another very cool route where we will once again skip again with some rocket jumps.
Yeah.
Just like that.
Nice.
And right here... Oh wait, this is my home.
True. Hey, you live here.
Welcome to Streak. So this is a lot like Ascent, but there's a lot more rocket jumping at the start for movement. This is one of my favorite stages in this game. I like it. So what she's going to be doing is shooting a set of demons basically far away, similar to Ascent. I mean, yeah. Also very nice fish shot.
That's really good. Let's go.
Yeah, very good, very good.
Yeah, this is, if you remember in Ascent, the big Aimlabs level, where she did, kind of a decent climb up a skyscraper at the very end. This is the peak of that, where you're just gonna skip this whole thing. You're supposed to climb all the way around this whole level, but we're just gonna save a bunch of rockets, shoot everything from a distance, then climb all the way up this thing, and zip line to the goal.
That's a very hard boss as well.
That's a really tight jump. You need a very specific amount of ammo. So yeah, this is chapter 9. This is where it gets really hard.
So chapter 9 is basically like the exam portion of this game. It doesn't teach you anything new in this chapter, it just throws everything at you and be like, okay, you know the basics, figure it out. So these stages are very fun for routing because there's a lot you can do. And real quickly, I just want to shout out everyone in the chat who said idle stage as soon as Streak came up. Apparently I am so synonymous with that one stage that everyone called it the idle stage.
Dude, you're an icon, man.
Thank you.
But yeah, the kind of normal levels in the first couple of chapters kind of follow the structure of like introducing something, kind of advancing it, and then having kind of an exam at the end. This whole chapter, as Idle said, is just the exam. Like it's all the weapons, all the cards. It's this huge sprawling levels, some of which we more or less completely skip. But it is very cool.
Yeah, this is both a very, very hard stage, but I'll explain it after this. You go ahead, Mochi.
No, I was gonna say, just on the one she just did, it is the notorious stage for just having one alive demon left over when you reach the goal. There's like 3 possible ones that it usually is, and it's pretty much impossible to tell mid-run of which one you miss. So it's super cool that she did first try.
So one thing about God's Shriek is at the start she shot a rocket at a red wall. This is in order to get an extra Godspeed called early. There are vending machines in this game. Vending machines, you hit them, it takes roughly around 2 to 3 seconds, and then a card pops out. It is only really there to save runs in the Hell Rush mode of the game, but it still is useful in this one situation, the main full game.
Yeah, I don't think we went through it. Basically, the short version is, this is Heaven Rush, it's just all the levels back to back, all the main levels minus 1. Whereas, yeah, Hell Rush is the same, except it's no resets, your life or your health doesn't restore between stages, and it's permadeath. So it's effectively this but hard mode. You also get a couple of lifelines that can do some things, but it is very difficult, especially when you get this chapter, because a lot of these levels are just likely to like kill you outright instead of like you just missing something and losing the run.
So this right here is Mayhem. So the route for this is she's going to jump onto the roof and then shoot all the mimic chests. All these mimic chests will shoot everything. I mean, it does live up to its name. It is pretty Mayhem. Yeah. Another thing I'd like to mention is Mimic Phantom Boosts. Phantom boostings were explained earlier, I believe. But basically, you're able to hit a Mimic bullet if it's in a wall for roughly around 3 seconds after the fact with your katana, and each time you hit one, it saves roughly around 0.1 second. This right here is Barrage. She is going to be shooting stuff with Purify Bombs and a Purify card, and then just jump up.
Nice.
That is very hard to do first try. Congrats.
You need to be very good at tap firing for this. It is a very difficult stage.
Yes. And then after this is a very fun stage, in my opinion. Welcome to Estate.
I love
this is another one of the hardest stages in the game. So basically, the Fireball card, whenever you shoot a ringer, you're able to go very fast. The reason why this works is because you are able to, basically, you only get 1 speed boost per frame whenever you hit a bullet boost. So the way it works is since every single bullet is projectile, it shoots a different projectile nearly almost every frame. You're able to go really fast. Another thing she did was what the community likes to call the Ohio Fireball. So what she did was she fireballed into the wall at a certain spot, and took the fireball through the wall, early saving it and being able to use it to save roughly around a second.
Yeah, because it expands your grab range when you use the fireball ability, as we said. So the card is just close enough to the wall on the other side that you're able to just grab it right through there. Yeah, this is an example of a jumper who can be very annoying if you're not ready for him. Because, as you saw, as soon as he came into our line of sight, he jumped over the tripwire, so if you don't delay your shot, it's him. And this is also 60 FPS level. We're going to do it right away.
Yeah, because of that.
There we go.
Another fireball.
Another fireball one. That stick save, this strat saves roughly around 3 to 4 seconds optimally, so it is worth it, especially since switching FPS, there is no time loss. So what she's going to be doing is she's going to be shooting the tripwires and the guarding head early, right there, and it still saves a little bit of time even though she did slow down a bit. And this part is very scary to watch. Yeah, you get very close to the shocker there, and she didn't hit it, because she's gaming.
Shoot those barrels to get up earlier. This
is another cool route coming up as well, which I'll see if I can do.
This is the gamer level of all gamer levels. Fortress is very long and quite difficult, but it's got so many. It's had many routes over the almost years, but months. But this one might be my favorite. It's very cool because it is another one where you're supposed to go through this whole thing, but we just decide to not.
Yeah. So one thing I like to mention, this is not really related to Fortress, but this is more about the years thing. Neon White actually turns 1 year old technically because the demo came out February 20th.
Oh, yeah.
So today is the 1 year anniversary of the Neon White demo coming out. So it is now technically a year.
Well, happy birthday, Neon White. Yeah, so all those balloons that were in the middle, you were just supposed to like climb up, but you just shot them from the top. Okay.
So this level is like pretty much the only break we get really from all the action, since it's the lead up to a boss fight, which is very important. Definitely one of the hard parts of the run by far. We should have time for a quick finish, maybe. Donation time.
Yeah.
Okay, let me update you a bit on our upcoming Bid Wars. So a few games after Neon White, we will have Mario Party Superstars, and you can select the character that will be played. Currently in the lead with $155 is Waluigi. Behind that is Donkey Kong at $135, Yoshi with $131, and quite a way back at $40 is Daisy. So if you want to see Daisy on the playing board, then now's your time to donate. Also for Star Wars Jedi Knight Jedi Academy, the language choice, German is currently in a pretty big lead with $461.90, followed by English at $245, French at 15, and Spanish at 7. But it still can change. Get your donations in, and don't forget to put it towards any of our incentives or bid wars. Back to you.
Yeah, so here's Third Temple.
This is Third Temple.
This is effectively the same kind of base concept as Clock Tower, but scaled up in both intensity and difficulty by quite a lot. The way to go fast is to shoot him when he kind of drops his shield, as you can see he's been doing. Like he's almost at half health already. We've just started.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
This fight is normally around 3 to 4 minutes long doing casually, but we're able to do it in under a minute. So what she's trying to do is just shoot Green at every chance she gets. This is a very hard part.
Wait, I think you got
that is... Yeah, you got it. You got enough damage. That's enough, that's enough.
Very good.
So
that's actually incredible. Wow.
That is the second earliest possible kill you can get. It is very hard to do that.
Yeah.
Congrats. And welcome to Chapter 11, the 1,000-Pound Butterfly. This is where you get introduced to the Book of Life. The Book of Life, when you discard it, you're able to telefrag into literally anything. That is basically any chest, any demon, pretty much anything. And that means you can do it.
Nice.
Oh,
that was so
okay, that is very...
Yeah, we just clipped through a wall. Don't worry about it.
That's like a 1 to 2 pixel seam. This is very hard. You were able to teleport to anything within a 500 unit range. We'll see how far, roughly 500 units is later. This is, again, very fast, because you get the option, speedrunners get the option to just teleport instantly in a game where the hitboxes are the most accurate. And yeah, you're able to do that. Like for example, she grappled into a wall as a specific spot in order to be able to teleport, and then she rocket jumped, and then right there, Book of Life's into the barrel, which is very close.
And the start
here,
there,
switch.
you saw she aimed at the bottom of the door. There's actually a clip you can do there, which is very small and very tight, which saves. I don't even know how much. I don't play these levels. These levels are hard, man.
This is right here is access. She just walks through the red wall there. It's perfectly fine, you know.
Yeah, the tripwires don't exist also. This is Congregation. It starts off almost like a normal level for a little bit, because you don't start with a book, which is also why she turned up her FOV here. The note on that is that just like turning down your FOV book just makes the harder snipes that are very far away much easier. So you'll see a lot of runners turn their FOV down for playing these kinds of stages.
Yes. This is Congregation. So immediately as she gets the Book of Life, I mean, you'll see.
We're gonna go up, and we're gonna go through a wall, and we're gonna skip the whole level, and we're at the goal.
It's the goal, pretty much.
This
immediately just skips the stage.
Yeah, I think this is the longest Book of Life level, purely because
it is.
Half of it is a normal level, and then as soon as you get the book, you just go through a wall and go to the goal.
And then the final stage of this is supposed to be the longest non-boss fight stage. So what we're going to be doing is...
Yeah, sorry, as a developer, like the secret like red medals in this game, which are like the developer times, I think this one is about a minute and a half. We're going to do it in like 16?
I actually don't know how you died there, that's weird.
I don't either.
Because these big tripwires in the sky, they're supposed to like guide you and just like look cool. And they're supposed to be unable to. You're supposed to be unable to teleport to them, but by just holding some directional keys, you can do it.
It's just like that, we're at the final boss.
Yeah.
Right here.
Yeah. Holy Ground was basically the calm before the storm. So this is the final boss fight. Green has the most health. He actually has 200 health. So what Marisa's going to be doing is she's basically just going to be using the Book of Life to teleport to pretty much everything to skip as fast as possible. There is only one skip that you can really do, and I wouldn't even consider it a skip. It's more just hitting crystals too far away. So this phase right here where she has to hit all the crystals very close together, that's called a conga line. There are two of these, and you can go very fast with them. But unfortunately, it is very easy to just miss one crystal and then lose quite a bit of time.
If you hit them all, they can just all die in like a couple of seconds. But it's very easy to just like lose your place, and then that was still very fast.
That was very good.
And this is possibly the one skip. Yeah, we got 2 crystals.
See?
Basically, his next phase is just up there. You can just shoot him from here. You're not supposed to have a gun when you actually go there. So now he's already phase transitioned. Those are like,
that is very, very hard to hit.
Yeah, those are some really tough snipes. And also to note, she has been swinging her katana for this whole thing, because we're doing a little bit of death time reviews here as well. And that's time.
Alright.
Let's go.
GG. That was really good.
Yeah, that's why it's 7 Rush.
Yeah.
And shout outs to the player who changed my game to this. I appreciate it.
Hi, Demiurge.
Oh, there's
Hello.
Demiurge. Hi, Demiurge.
There's me at the bottom. Hi, Idol.
Oh, hey, that's Idol.
Yeah, so I don't have too much to add. I just hope people enjoyed watching. This game it's very speedrun focused, like I said, and I'm glad I could show off some pretty cool and harder routes and strats.
Yeah, I think it was, like personally, it was my first speed game. I think I've talked to a couple of people, and like a surprising amount of people said it's their first game as well. And I think the current world record holder for this category. So it's a very approachable game, even though it looks quite insane and fast just watching it here. So, you know, if this looks cool, come join the community and make a spreadsheet.
Yeah, the community is very awesome. I want to real quickly shout out the 7 people who are currently having a watch party in the speedrun server right now, watching it. Y'all are awesome.
Let's go.
This community is amazing, and I'm really happy with how far everyone's pushed it. GG, Marisa, again.
Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
I'll also give one more shout out to Machine Girl, who are making music for this game. They're very cool. I think you should listen to them.
Oh,
that's it.
Thank you so much for the run, Marisa. It was awesome to watch. And with that, we will be in a quick intermission. And after that, we have some Resident Evil. don't go too far.
Ooh.
Let's go.